You want to get better at FC25 now? Before you skip ahead, what if I told you if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money? That's the Nil Guys guarantee. We got in-depth tutorials that are not even on the YouTube channel. We show you the theory of something and we show you gameplay examples in a structured format. We also go over real-life football examples that apply to the game and exclusive pro gameplay analysis, full gameplay analysis to elevate your game. We teach you everything from the basics to the meta. Come join at patreon.com/Nil Guys. Links down below in the description. If you don't get better after 1 month, we'll refund your money. That's the Nil Guys guarantee. Links down below in the description. Well, good evening. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all doing very well this Friday afternoon. Now, someone brought the interesting thing to me last week is that can the 4-3-3 flat, in effect, replace the 4-2-1-3? And yes, you're correct. The difference between that formation, this formation, is actually quite important. Number one is you have two centre mids. Two centre mids, the main benefit is they sit higher up on the pitch, allows you better to press the ball, like in a 4-4-2 over a 4-2-2 or a 4-4-2 second variation. Centre mids sit higher, they're more involved in the attack. And that is why this formation can be better. The thing is, the 4-2-1-3 is more balanced. So before you go ahead and copy this code and start thinking this is going to be all amazing, fine and dandy, you have to bear in mind where the positions are and also how good you're at the game. Now, I have to always say this because this is a very attacking tactic. If you want a more of a conservative approach, we'll go over that in a second. But 4-3-3 attack, counter, I would say the formation like this, you don't want to be playing deep. You want to be being high up the pitch. You want to be using that teammate contain. If you know how to use teammate contain, you press the ball, win the ball up high up the pitch so you can win the ball back and then you can attack. The real thing that comes into my favorite is that I love using the wingers on roaming. In fact, I would say for the best AI movement, I think this is one of the best instructions that you can have for AI movement is having an inside forward on roaming, especially if it's a plus. Someone cheap like Salah, you can just buy and try out for like 50k, and you'll see what I'm saying. The most important thing is having a fullback that's going forward, okay? Because the idea is you want this player or the wing back, or even the attacking wing back, if you feel a bit spicy, to overlap, and that's what will push Salah inside. So for the best AI movement, it's important to understand that both of these roles, they coexist together. So this would be a more of a, I would say, a balanced approach per se, but you still got one player on holding. You're not going out too much. You're not going gung-ho. You still got one player on stay back, so everyone can't say, oh my God, I got no other back. One player is there to sit. We got Valverde as a left centre mid, as a playmaker. You can always put this to box. For the cam, normally I would go with shadow striker, but I think playmaker is good enough because you already have a centre mid helping you. So you got that kind of two players behind the three attackers as you otherwise you wouldn't have, because don't forget, in a 4-2-1-3, they're CDMs. They sit back and they stay back. So think of this like an attacking variation of that 4-2-1-3. We got the strike on advanced forward. I'm very, very fortunate. I got Philo Gene. Possibly I got one of the best evolutions in the game, 5-star, 5-star. I don't know if you've even seen that card. If you've done him because I suggested it, honestly, I think one of the best players I've used this year. I should have done him on my main account. My absolute biggest regret. But then we have the left back on Mendy on balanced. We've gone with a depth of 70, so we're being up high up the pitch, and we're going to be aggressive. Now, what's important? If you want to make this a bit more, okay, you know what, Neil, I can't do this. That's fine. Just put both the fullbacks on defend. Hear me out. This way, so listen, if you're struggling, and you know yourself that you're struggling, you're watching this video because you want to try a new formation out. You want to be a bit more attacking than a 4-2-1-3, but you don't want to go gung-ho. Doing something like this is a bit more conservative. And at least that way you have the centre mid holding. You can even put both these centre mids holding. But I think this is a good appropriate balance. That way you keep your back four in shape. And the truth is, if a tactic doesn't work for you, yes, sometimes a tactic might not be good for you. But if you're running out with these people don't understand, if you're running out with your centre backs, it doesn't matter if you've got all 99 players, you're still going to lose. You're still going to make a massive mistake. So listen, remember, tactics can't save you if you don't know the basics of the game. It's important that I be honest because a lot of people out there that have been lied to thinking tactics are going to change their style. It will change your style, but if you run out with your centre back, you're always going to concede. Remember that. Just like in real life, do you ever see a centre back running out of position aimlessly? Well, sometimes you do, and they end up conceding. But don't run back. Keep your defensive line in line, and that's the whole idea behind this premise of having the fullback and no one going forward. However, I think for the best AI movement, and I say again, if you did something like this, an inside forward roaming, you can always put 3 players on stay back like so. But then you have, for example, Kadioglu or whoever you have here. To be honest, maybe a better example would be if I use Mendy, because Mendy is probably a bit better player than Kadioglu. I've done the Mendy evolution. But let's say you went with something like this, right? So the side you want to attack down, just ignore Martinelli for a second. Then that way you have the player going forward and it pushes this player on the inside. Sometimes this player would roam around this region. They could always interswap or change positions. Inside forward roaming, in my opinion, alongside attacking wingback, has the best attacking AI inside the game. So if you want the best attacking AI movement, this would be the best one. Of course, that's going to leave you with 3 players at the back. Obviously, if you can't defend with 3 players at the back, obviously change it. Remember, when I give you a tactic, you always want to adjust it for your style. Please don't be part of that 5% people who just copy tactics. It's fine to copy it. I'm not saying don't. But after you play it for 4 or 5 games, think, okay, what am I good at? What am I struggling at? Remember, I'm always trying to teach you to adjust the tactics for your playstyle. So important. The most important thing is the players. As I said, inside forward, at least try to go for inside forward plus. But to be honest, the best movement you're going to see is with the plus. I personally think with roles with plus and plus, I don't think there's a grand difference as much as people make it out to be. People assume there's some god level thing. I mean, I've had Evos with the best tack positioning and plus. I don't really see that movement. However, when I put, for example, an attacking wing back like this, and then I had the plus on someone like Salah, and this player's at least got a plus or plus, the wing back, then you see the best movement. So I think with roaming, you ideally want to go for a roll plus. It's not compulsory, but it's definitely what I would suggest. So as I said, so there's 2 variations of this. If you want the more conservative approach where you said, you know what, Neil, I fear that I'm not going to be good at defending, and that's fine. Most people in this game are not good at defending. In fact, if you take the average player in Division 5 and just improve their defending, they could easily be a Division 1 player. I can tell you that for a fact from all my experience with coaching for a very long time. But if you want the conservative one, you go Hotel Kilo 5, Capital Bravo, Capital Alpha 26, November Romeo Delta, and Capital Foxtrot for the conservative approach. And if you want to be a bit more aggressive, what you could do is I would suggest one of these players, the one that's going to be more attacking, at least on a wing back. Put them on balanced, and then the other one you can just put them on fullback balance. So they're still going to go up a little bit, but not too much. And you can always balance it out by having, for example, the center mid on stay back. Now let's say, for example, this is a bonus tip, and this is the code for that one. Kilo 8, Capital Echo, Capital Delta 5 9 Romeo Uniform India hashtag. Now, one thing I want to say finally. One thing you could do, just a quick solution. Let's say you're like, no, I love that wing back overlapping. I know a lot of you guys are going to love that movement. You're going to say, I love that, but I hate the defensive side and I can't play it. Then you could just go to a 4-2-1-3. But let's say you like the center mids. Then one thing you could do is you could put both of the center mids on holding. Unfortunately, the one thing you can't do is you can't have that instruction where you can with the CDM becomes like the right back, as I explained to you before. So maybe you could argue the 4-2-1-3 is better in that respect if you want to defend in the back 4. If you want to send a miss to sit higher and you want to be more attacking, then definitely use this formation. So either one, you can use either formation, but I just want to explain to you the difference. So before you choose which one, you should ideally have both of these formations. You should have the 4-2-1-3 and you should have as well the 4-3-3 attack. Because then you have a more attacking variation with 2 center mids, and then you have the one with CDM. So if you can, I know Team Leader is just around the corner, but try to find players here who then have the CDM and the center mid positions. I know there's not that many players, but with the prices, someone like Tonali, you can get really cheap players. Bon Patty, I think she can play both. I'm not mistaken. I think I'm not mistaken. But players like that are very effective. Anyway, I was hoping this video definitely give us a go, but don't forget this is an attacking tactic at the end of the day. Don't use this to start the game with. This is one to not close the game out, but this is one to use, for example, when you're getting close to the end of the game and maybe you want to be attacking. Maybe you're losing 2-1, 2-0, the 4-2-1-3, your CDMs are sitting a bit too deep and you want to be high up the pitch to press and be aggressive, then that is where this formation comes into play. I'll have a tactical setup for this one tomorrow. alongside the 4-3-3 and some other 4-3 as well that you can actually try out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy, and of course, catch you in tomorrow's video where I've got a full tactical layout of the 4-3-3. I think you're very much going to like that. Catch you next time. Don't forget, you want to get better FC, come to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Neil Guys. Don't forget, you don't get better after 1 month, we will refund your money. That's the Neil Guides guarantee. That's how sure we are. Every video is made by myself, edited by myself as well, and my team. And that is how sure I am, because it's my content, no one else. It's just me. Every content, I've made it, I've scripted it, I've wrote it out, I've planned it out. And that's how I know I can guarantee you. And that's the Neil Guys guarantee. Links down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Take it easy and have a good weekend, League.